Hello there and welcome back to the Chap's Guide. If we've not met before, my name is Ash and I'm the curator of this channel, which aims to provide you with self-development tips, lifestyle advice and anything which can help you on your journey to being the best chap that you can be. What's chap? Well, being chap is somebody who's effortlessly elegant, stylish without being a slave to fashion, and somebody who gets good value for money in the process of dressing and presenting themselves in that way. Now, today is December in the UK. It's the middle of a dreary, wet, cold and damp winter, and it's that time of year which actually can be good for chaps because you get the opportunity to layer your clothes, to look your smartest. There's nothing more enjoyable, I think, in the winter than snuggling up in a nice thick overcoat with a scarf and a hat and taking on the elements as you go outside. Now, part of taking on the elements involves the bit where the rubber meets the road, and that's your feet. And for me, winter time is the boot time of year. Every autumn, come October, I get my boots out of the wardrobe, put the shoes away, and then I feel that it's my time to take on the weather. And a good pair of boots can be the difference between being warm and comfortable to being wet and cold, in my experience. And part of wearing good boots is knowing where to look, the brands to look for, which are pitched at, let's be honest, your wallet. It's an expensive business buying quality footwear in this day and age. As big as your wallet is, there will be a pair of shoes out there which can meet your need. So I've personally going to show you a few pairs of boots which I've been wearing over the last few years, which have really worked out for me, modestly priced, they look great and they perform fantastically in the weather as well. So I'm going to flip the camera around and you can see what I'm talking about, and I hope you will enjoy seeing what keeps me safe and dry at this time of year. So here we are. This is a pair of Loake Burford boots, and Loake is a manufacturer which I've been wearing their stuff for probably a couple of decades now, and they are British manufacturer. So this model of boot, the Burford, is part of the 1880 collection of Loake boots, called the 1880 because that's the year that Loake was founded, and they are in fact still manufactured in the UK, the upper echelons of the range. Anything with 1880 is manufactured in Kettering, and quite a labour intensive process. Many different parts come together through the hands of up to, I think it's something like 130 tradesmen have a hand in the preparation of every pair of Loake 1880 boots. However, they are quite modestly priced because they are not, let's just say they're not in the upper echelons of British footwear manufacturers like a lot of the other big names like Chap'S and Crockett & Jones, which have factories in Northamptonshire. Loake are kind of low-end medium, I would go as far as to say. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Loake, but where they pitch themselves at the market, I mean, this pair of boots costs £250, bought directly from Loake. If you're talking about Chap'S, Crockett & Jones, we would be looking £500, £600, £700. So it just gives you an idea of where we are. I think for a value proposition, the right pair of Loake boots is very good return for your investment because you get a handmade British manufactured product which is going to last you decades with correct maintenance and if you look after it right. So I plumped for the Loake boots because I quite like the brogue style, the very plain toe cap boots or grained leather. I do like it. I own a few pairs, but I do like broguing because for me, although it's casual, there is an element of formality again with broguing. I just think it has something historic and it's very traditionally British, and I just really do like broguing. When it comes to boots, again, anything that adds a bit of character is worth thinking about when you're adding expensive items to your wardrobe. Now, I bought this pair of Loake boots 2 years ago. I bought them directly from Loake. They are still available today. You can purchase these for £265 off the Loake website, and you can find them elsewhere. You can often find them on sale. I bought them directly from Loake. because I wanted this particular colour. This is called burnished burgundy, and I really like burnished or burgundy in general because of its versatility when it comes to wearing with other items in the wardrobe. Because if you think of this colour, you know, it's highly flexible. You can wear it with any blues or navy colours. You can wear it with all of the greys. If you were to be somebody who, you know, incorporated greens or olive greens into your wardrobe, either in suits or trousers, you know, this colour blends effortlessly across all of the different types of colours that you're likely to wear as a chap out there at the moment. As you can see, this pair I've actually brought up to a bit of a mirror shine very easily because it's a good quality grained leather, which, you know, easily takes a shine. It's very easy to look after. This particular model, as I see, the Burford boot, is formed on the Loake 24 last, and that's the sort of model, you know, the thing that the shoe is formed around, the last. And it's quite a generous one because it accepts that people will often wear boots in the winter time in inclement weather, and it gives it a little bit more room because you're highly likely to be wearing a larger sized sock in the winter because obviously you want to keep your feet warm. So a little bit more roomy, but still, you can wear this with a suit if you wanted to. They're not so big and clumpy that they would look out of place with a suit. This particular model I went for in the day-night sole style. Now, day-night is, you know, it's another manufacturer in the UK. They make this rubberized sole with the very distinctive little sort of dimples, nipples underneath, which are really good for walking around in the winter time. They're good for traction. You know, they get a good grip. There's no slipping and sliding on a damp pavement with ease. They're also quite hard wearing. So if you're going to be doing rather a lot of walking, having a day-night sole opposed to an all-leather sole might be a route that you would want to take. Ordinarily, there is no difference in price. It's normally a stipulation of whether you want day-night or leather. Certainly when you're buying from Loake, there is no difference in price. It's just your personal preference, and you indicate that when you buy. One of the big advantages to buying a higher quality boot, now £250 may seem like a lot if you're not used to paying, you know, a couple of £100 for your footwear. I expect these boots to last me for 20 years, maybe longer if I look after them. They're not going to age in style, you know, sort of levels, because a good brogue boot has never fallen out of fashion. It's the gentleman's sort of uniform of choice on his feet, and I don't believe that these will ever become unfashionable. They might be not fashionable to the young folks, but you know, there's a difference between style and fashion, and as a chap, I'm interested in style, I'm not a slave to fashion. So I know that the brogues are never going to go out of fashion. I was, you know, wearing brogue shoes when I was a 6 and 7-year-old kid. My mother used to put me in Clark's brogues to go to school. I'm still wearing them now in my 50th year, so no problem with that. And I'm not worried about them going out of style. For me, they never will. But the beauty of buying slightly higher quality, and I've already talked about the sole. If you'll notice, the sole is attached to the shoe by a stitching which goes all the way around, and that goes under the heel as well. That is called the Goodyear welt, and the sole is attached to the upper by way of that welting, and you can see the stitching through the top. There's a welt, a sort of little envelope or a flap, which the sole is attached to the upper. And the beauty of that means that it can be replaced relatively easy on a number of occasions. So in this case, when the day-night sole wears out, and it does take some wearing out, I have to say. I've been wearing this consistently through the winter for the last couple of years, and it's made virtually no impact on that day-night sole. But when it does wear out, probably in another 5 or so years' time, I can send it back to Loake, and at the moment they charge £105. So you send your shoe back in, and they will utterly renovate your shoe. They will remove the entire bottom half of the shoe, and they will replace it with a brand new sole of your choice. You can choose to have day-night or leather, but I would go like for like. I'm going to have a day-night sole on this one when the time comes. Whilst they're at it, they renovate the upper as well to a degree. They'll replace some of the inside, the leather sock, and you will effectively get back a brand new pair of shoes for the cost of £105. Seems like a lot of money if you're not used to paying that, but you imagine with 1 or 2 resolings, there's no reason why this pair of boots can't last me 20 years quite easily. And you know, when you think about what we talk about quite often on the Chap'S Guide, the value proposition, you know, the return you get for your investment, I think that is an exceptional value for your money. So that's one of the reasons why I'm very fond of these. Now, as I say, I chose this colour and I paid £250 for them, £250. Of course, there are other routes to obtaining them. You can get them on sale, you can keep your eye open for them. And another route you can take, and I'll just move these to one side and bring in this pair. This is a pair of identical boots in a different colour, of course. This is the Loake Burford, but in the tan colour. Now, some of you may prefer tan. Tan, a little bit more casual, I think. Again, highly flexible, can be worn with quite a range of colours. But for me, the tan is a little bit more cash rather than, you know, the burnished burgundy, which I find more flexible in colour. This pair of boots I picked up for £99 on eBay. I often research sort of various shoe manufacturers on eBay, looking out for those bargains. This one is the leather sole, so it gives you an idea of the difference. The leather sole, you know, opposed to the day-night. And as I say, this will be a little more lethal in the winter time. But again, you know, a lot of people prefer leather. I love them both. Day-night, a little bit more of a preference for me because of the weather in the UK. But again, equally on a lovely dry winter's day, nothing wrong with the leather sole at all. Great to have the option of the 2 colours just so I can bring those across into my wardrobe. I paid £99 for these because I regularly look on eBay and I often look up Burford boots, and there these were. Immaculate condition. When I took ownership of them just over a year ago, they were as new, and I bought them from a charity. So clearly they had been bequested to a charity. I don't know, perhaps somebody had died or they no longer fitted or whatever, and they were given to the charity and the charity sold them on eBay. £99, they were virtually as new. When I looked, you know, in comparison to the pair I bought directly from Loake for £250, you know, you get to see excellent bargains can be had. You might not be so lucky in getting them in the colour that you want. I mean, I was very pleased to get a tan coloured pair. They only at the time made them in tan and burgundy, and I was very hopeful to get a tan pair, as I did here. But as I say, as long as you're not too hung up about buying pre-owned footwear, which can be, you know, a thing for some people, and I wouldn't necessarily buy any old pre-owned shoes, but I could see that these were in excellent condition and I was quite happy to make that investment. So very pleased I did so. If you're a little bit shorter for money and you're prepared to take the risk, you can go ahead and buy yourself a pair of, say, boots like these Burfords that have had a hard life. They're really worn. You'll find all types of boots on eBay, and you might pick up, you know, a really down at luck pair of boots for, you know, shall we say, £25, £30 if you're lucky. The soles will be worn through. They might be a bit on the wrong side of their lifetime. But remember what I said about that renovation service. You can send that pair of boots back into Loake. For £105, they will totally renovate that pair of boots and they will come back to you like new. I mean, you know, it would be a worthy investment. So even if you say paid £150 for, you know, sorry, if you paid £50 for a pair of boots, you invested the £105, you get a brand new like pair of boots back for £155. Still more or less £100 less than you could buy a pair directly from the website. So, you know, if money is tight, and it is for all of us, let's be honest, we need to squeeze every penny from each pound that we spend. That's an option for you as well. And then you've got a pair of boots that is likely to last you decades. There is no reason why you can't look after your boots, and they are likely to last you year after year after year. So there we go. That's a little tip that I can give you today. As you can see, I haven't brought this pair up to a mirror shine like the other pair, the burnished burgundy, and I'll bring the burgundy one in here so you can see them side by side. As I say, an excellent proposition for you if you look to bring a bit of colour, bit of style into your winter dressing, because these are fantastic for the winter. I tend only to wear them during the winter time, but you know, for that they are made for that purpose. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today on my choice of boot for the winter time, and perhaps some ideas of how you can lavish these in your wardrobe, perhaps for not the full price if you're prepared to take the time to invest in looking on eBay and you know, making that purchase. So thank you for watching today. If you've enjoyed this video, please do click the like button. It does mean a lot to me to know that you're enjoying the material that I produce. And also don't forget to click the subscribe button so you won't miss any of the future material that I produce for you chaps to help you on your journey to ultimate chapdom. And I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.